Welcome to the Play-by-Play podcast. It's your boy Von Vintage. I got my guys, Top Self Trey and Ralph Peter. And today we got a very, very special episode because we got a friend of the podcast, Zoo. He has many credits, man. This dude has been in the lab with some of your favorites. We talking about Dave East. We talking about Remy Ma, Fat Joe, and so much more, man. So let us hear about what you got going on, Zoo, and how it started everything, man. We want to hear it all.
Peace, bro. Thank you, man. Good looking on that intro.
You know, you gotta bring the energy, man. You gotta bring the energy, man.
Nah, for sure. That's it.
You wasn't ready for that 1, 2, 3 switch, man.
Nah, yeah, man. It took it on, man.
Niggas was mad quiet.
Yeah,
you already know.
Nah, man. But yeah. So I would appreciate y'all having me up here, man. Thank you,
doubt.
man. I definitely. Checked a few of y'all episodes, man. Shout out to my man Trey, my man Ralph, man. So
You're ready.
Definitely been a friend of the show, man. Fan of the show, so I appreciate y'all having me up here. Gotta say that first, man. Definitely.
I appreciate the love.
And yeah, man. But as far as my artist, rapper, engineer, sound engineer, recorder engineer, mixing, do a lot of studio work, big time studio rap, man. I'm in there every day, That's so that's a bulk of my life and my work is being in the studio, doing a lot of that stuff. As you were saying, I work with a lot of people in the game, primarily in New York City. A lot of people with the different record labels, a lot of stuff for Def Jam, a lot of stuff for Atlantic Records. A lot of stuff for Warner Brothers, Alamo Records, and stuff like that. Definitely been in all the studios downtown, all that stuff. Yeah, big ties, just working around in the studio, keeping my head down, staying humble, man, staying busy.
That's what's up.
So, bro, I know, and a lot of us know, but everybody else doesn't know. So tell us, how did you get started, man? Like, what led you on the path to be an engineer as far as you also being a rapper?
Well, yeah, that's kind of what led to the path of being an engineer was rapping first. I've been rapping since little kid, like 9 years old. 4th grade, was writing little raps and shit. My pops was a rapper. Back in the days and stuff. Like he had a little group and stuff. So that's where the original inspiration. Your pops like Superman and shit when you were a kid and shit. So he was rapping. My household was just heavy hip hop. Some people grow up. They had like the Al Green and James Brown in the crib and shit. Like I had young parents, so I grew up with the Naughty by Nature and the Woo and like all that shit, big, all that. That's what was being played when the house was getting cleaned and shit. Like so, I definitely was like born hip hop from a baby. So it would start from there, from the infancy. Just I didn't realize it till in hindsight. Like damn, like that was really like I was molded in some hip hop shit from the jump, but. As a kid, that's just like what it was, So it's like a natural progression. Start writing rhymes. Then like 11, 12, my brother, he like, this is LimeWire era and shit now. So he downloaded programs and shit on the computer. And my brother, he was always real big into like, he got a camcorder one Christmas. So he like recording videos. So it started with that, with him recording, like he would record videos of me rapping. Like just, just rapping sometimes. He would be holding the camera and holding like the loose leaf paper. So he recorded me. So that's how those was probably like my first like recorded rhymes and shit, like doing it like that. And then he got a program of LimeWire called Acid Pro. And this is like 02, 03, something like that, and it started from there. That's what I didn't even know that it was that it had a title, that it was called engineering at the time. You know what I'm saying? I used to think that when you went to say it was like Puff and Biggie, like I thought they went to the studio and they recorded the song. Like I knew somebody made the beat and somebody raps, but I thought like y'all just go to the studio and they were like y'all record each other. As a kid, This is how I thought about it. So I thought that was you supposed to record your own music. Like that's how you get it done. I didn't know there was a third person to get that done, you know what I mean? And that's where
facts.
Yeah, that's
Okay, that's dope, man. So, like, tell us how, because you work with so many heavy hitters in the game, bro. Like, how did you start getting plugged into that, man? I know it's really hard too, especially up in New York, man, because a lot of dudes act like they too cool, they don't want to work with you, and all that. So, how did you break past that and get plugged in?
Well, that started at around 2015. Shout out to my boy Malik Spence. He was in
Shout out,
a
Malik.
called, yeah, that's my boy. That's Trey's brother too, man. That's fam. So he actually was in a group, gospel singing group called Livray, and they got a record deal. A little bit after we got out of high school, probably like 2010, 2011. They got signed, and they were signed for a few years. But he was signed to the label, so he was in that infrastructure. And then that's one of my closest friends. And like I said, I've been just doing this for so many years. Like in high school, me and him he was the best singer, I was the best rapper. That's what I mean. And then me and him was actually like boys and close. So we always had that connection. So he kind of reached back for me and looked out, introduced me to who became my mentor, which was an engineer named Robert Dorsey, also known as LB 9000. He did a lot of stuff for the Wolves, Roots, Alicia Keys, and him and another engineer by the name of Mickey Rolfe. So them two was probably like the two that I, earned my tutelage under, like started as an assistant for them, Like that's just like, I worked my way up in that downtown studio grind, I got the coffee, I did that shit, I did the, I stayed late, clean up after niggas. I did all those parts of it too.
It's funny because people think that's just TV, but that's real life. Like, if you're trying to make it somewhere, you gotta grind, you gotta start from the bottom. People think you just walk up in the studio and be like, yo, I'm big homie. This is my studio now, I'm recording all the top rappers. And that's just not how it works.
Nah, it don't work like that at all, bro.
Hell yeah, you need to put in 10,000 hours.
I would be doing myself a disservice. So I forgot. You asked me the question about how I started engineering. That was at the base level with my brother and all that stuff. There's recording in the crib. We did that for mad years through high school, recording little stuff. This is now MySpace era. We putting songs up there. We burning CDs and stuff to give them out to people. Just like, not even on some like having a business mind. It's just I want people to hear the songs type shit. Like that's how we looking at it.
Right.
And then in high school, I was kind of on some dickhead shit. I'm getting into trouble all the time. So certain classes, the teachers was finished with me. Like I couldn't even go to that class no more. So I had to go to the guidance counselor office for certain periods. And then, that's a God work in mysterious ways, because the guidance counselor, she happened to be a sound engineer. Like she.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was her first.
Shit. What?
Yeah, and she minored in education in college. So she got tired of the engineering or the studio grind, and she went to her second passion, which was education. That's how she became a guidance counselor. But she used to have the little iPod dock in her office. Like I said, certain classes I done got banned from the class, so I got to sit in there the whole period. So me and her chopping it up because I got to sit there. We end up building rapport. We get cool and shit. And she was from the Bronx too. Like she's she's a white lady when she was younger, and she was from the Bronx also. She was from Thurston, so she wasn't like out of touch with, So we talked about a lot of shit, and then she had the iPod dock, so she let me throw my shit on there, but only if I had to do whatever classwork or school stipulations. She's like, but I'll let you play some shit off the dock if you do your work. So, I'm playing my shit. You know what I mean? I put it on the dock, so she hear it, and she's like, "This pretty good. What's this?" So I told her that's me. She's like, "So you go to the studio?" I'm like, "Nah, I've never been. At this time, I've never been to a real studio." She's like, "It sounds pretty good." She's like, "You engineer yourself?" And I'm looking at it because I told you I didn't even know what that was. So I'm like, I recorded. I don't know.
Like, huh?
That's what she explained to me. That's a whole nother path or career. You know what I'm saying? In music, like there's, like I knew there's songwriters, there's rappers, there's singers. I knew there's producers and make the beats and shit, but I didn't know that there was someone that facilitated all of those things. And I learned that from her, and she really, like, I ain't gonna lie, she saved a nigga life, because she wrote like my recommendation letter. Her and Mr. Roscoe, my history teacher, he was like one of the few black teachers I had. He was official too. So them two wrote me the recommendation letter because truthfully, I had no business going to college. Like that's a whole nother story. But she kind of got me the recommendation to end up going to Mercy College. Where I went for 2 years, but that's how I got like my base level knowledge on Pro Tools and all that shit. And I came home with that and ran with it. And then that's, that was years of doing that, working local Bronx studios and in the crib. You know what I mean? I was in the crib recording niggas for 15 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Kind of my crib, we was getting it done. And
that's fire.
It was years of doing that. And in the process, during that time period, my boy Malik got the deal with the group. And then, like I said, he reached back and introduced me to who became my mentor. And that's how I got down there. But yeah, I'd have definitely been remiss if I ain't mentioned that, man. Shout out to Miss McMahon, man. She definitely, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even known that was even an option. You know what I mean?
Right,
I was really only facilitating, trying to get my music recorded. Like I didn't know that was another career choice. She opened my eyes to that.
This is not saying get in trouble, you'll find your future, but it's definitely fire. And I want people to understand the importance of networking.
Movie shit.
Yeah, it really is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just want people to know, like, networking is very important. A lot of people don't understand. Like, you never know who's going to be a mentor, but it's always good to take heed and information from others. Like, a lot of people be trying to think they know it all. You know what I'm saying? Zuda thought he knew it all at a young age. Who knows where he would have been today? He probably wouldn't even been this far. But, smart brother.
Not to mention, I'm pretty sure you learn how to engineer so you could do your own shit. Like you wanted to.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it started for.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I mean. It was just that. I didn't know that there was something like, no, you can pursue this part of it. Like, you know what I mean? It was more so just, I recorded so I could do my music. I didn't realize like it was a whole, like you can just do that part. Like, you
right. That's dope. We share like the.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that's dope. We kind of share the similar story because that's how I started. Like I didn't even know it was something you did. Like there was a dude, a little short dude named John who recorded. You know what I'm saying? Who was there in the studio with Big and shit like that, pressing the record button. Because before it was more technical. Now the shit in everybody crib to where we can just record at our house or we don't even got to be at a big studio now. So I think it's good for every artist to at least know a little bit about, how to work that program you're recording on. That way you get them verses out. Yeah. Get it mix how you want, Nah,
that's facts. And, we started similar in like the ways of, using LimeWire, getting Acid Pro, Logic, all that shit, son.
Yeah.
That was definitely
a child of the internet, man. I always say if you was born 1990, you know what I'm saying? If you was born like from 89 to 92, you was like, we the last niggas that was outside and the first niggas that was on the internet.
That's right.
We got a different kind of perspective on the world.
Nah, that's straight up. That's straight. So tell us about like, how was it making that transition from being like recording only yourself to going to like all these different personalities and artists who probably have different ways that they like to do things, like how was that transition for you?
I'm sorry, what's the question again?
Like, how was it like going from like only recording your shit to like being in the studio with these different artists and shit and going through their process?
Well, that was, I think it was a lot of, I spent a lot of time, like, I didn't realize that there was preparation, but I had a lot of preparation for that shit just from all those years of when I was recording people in the crib and I was running around a lot of the local Bronx studios and shit. Like I already dealt with a whole bunch of different kind of personalities and shit. And you gotta remember, this is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? It's 10, 15 niggas in my bedroom. You know what I'm saying? And my
mad niggas like, yo, come on, your verse.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, hell yeah.
You next.
Yeah, mad practice.
So that's a different type of crowd control and keep, you know what I'm saying? So moms don't start tripping, you know what I'm saying? But these niggas is paying me, so they still like satisfied with the job I'm doing. Like it was, so I didn't realize at the time that I was preparing myself for, you know what I mean?
Right. You did better than me, because when I was recording niggas for free. He was charging.
He had the right idea.
Yeah, right. It was all his business.
It's funny because it was the Zudio. A lot of niggas don't know about the Zudio.
Oh, that's dope. I like that name.
That's fire. Be in there, chilling, 100 people in there smoking, chilling like.
Stay around them niggas like waist train. These niggas ain't tough, they just play dangerous. You stay around them niggas like waist train. Been by my stuff and I can't change. I'm with my set and I still claim. See, I'm like K-Slay, you like K-Spade. So Reggie in 8th grade and used to get great grades. Sometimes can't believe it's the same brain. Got me feeling gifted and deranged. Never cared about a little bit of pain. Push my way up in the game. Respected the face of the name. Come check it, you don't feel the same. I'm losing my patience and feeling restrained. Keep looking at those where I wanna be, not the hate, just to see where I ought to be. And I don't take orders from no one. I do what I wanna, I gotta keep going. Niggas know I got heart like I'm Brett or I'm Owen. Never ran on the plug if I owe him, unless he deserved it. Sliming that nigga, he don't see my worth. Used to boot up and come down with a perk. Had to chill out for you niggas get hurt. 400 the army, like that I live is alarm. And Hines still working as hard as your father. Turn a hero to a martyr. Cut a nigga like it's barbers. Take off the key.
But nah, man. Since we back, you know. Also, I want to talk about my bro. He got his own merchandise. Tell us about the website you got.
I know I'm tripping. I don't even got my shit on. I look like a Yankee fan.
Hey, you just letting niggas know where you from, man. That's all that is.
That's all good.
That's it, man.
Trey, you wearing a shirt right there too, right?
Yeah, it's a shirt.
I am motivated.
That's one of the shirts right there. My big Trey got on the high motivated joint. Yeah,
Fire.
That's the brand's Ham Life. You know, it's an acronym. It ain't got nothing to do with no pop. Definitely not no police. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Disclaimer.
Acronym is high motivated, happy as myself. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm real big on like people being themselves, you know, and just doing what's best for you. You know what I mean? Like before, even like at the time we didn't know what it's called. Now we call it mental health and you know what I'm saying, and social consciousness and shit like. But before even those words was popular, you know what I'm saying? Like that's he was on this Ham Life shit, and that was always kind of my, you know. So I'm glad that the rest of the world is kind of on that same wave. You know what I mean? We're moving on that vibration. So that's the brand. So yeah, that's one of the shirts we got that Trey got on. High motivated, you know, got the good leaf and the brain on it, you know. Then we got happy as myself shirts as well. The website is called ZooBeeze.com. You know, you spell bees B-E-E-Z-E. You know, I know a lot of people put breeze because of the spelling and shit.
Right.
You know, that's but yeah, ZooBeeze.com. We have the merch section on there. It's called Happy as Myself. So when you go on the website, you see the Happy as Myself tab. That'll take you to all the merch, you know, the brand stuff. You know, we also got the 3SPN hoodies. You know, cause I dropped a project in this last December called 30 for 30. You know, the Nate Escovade story. It was, you know, kind of playing off the ESPN, the docu-series and all that shit. So, you know, I made up a fictional character kind of, and we did like a few skits. People could check it out on the gram and shit. That's Graves King Nate HG. You could check out, we got a few skits. So that's where the 3SPN comes from, you know. 3 has always been like a very big number just in my lexicon, in my life, my journey and shit. I mean, so
hell yeah.
Are you not from Section 3? Let them know.
Nah, shout out to Section 3 though, man. It's big trade for us.
Word. All right, you know, it's really interesting too, man, because like with the work that you've been putting in, especially with this time period, right? I find it really intriguing because it's like, yo, you're working in New York in a time period where New York was kind of transitioning and shit, like as far as music and like the sound of New York, right? So like, how would you like describe that journey to like where it was back in the day to where it is now in New York, that you've seen it firsthand?
Yeah, well, you know, as far as back in the day, you know, I can only speak from the outside as like one just living here and not, because I wasn't in the game at that time. You know, I was more aspiring.
Right.
You know, but even it definitely, one big difference though is, you know, the importance of lyricism back then. You know, the importance of just being able to like have quick fire rhymes like on the spot. Like if somebody, you know, it might be any time somebody get a phone call, you'll come downstairs, you got a bag of such and such, niggas from up the block said they got somebody that's nicer than you. You know, this sort of, there was a lot more about the bragging rights and having pride in the skill of the craft. And that's just as far as like on the streets and in the neighborhoods of New York. Like, you know what I mean? Like outside of what's happening in the mainstream or in the actual industry or in the professional world, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
In New York, hip hop was so heavily ingrained in my childhood. Like that was just like a regular current. Like every block had a rapper who they felt was the best. And low key, the nigga be nice as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like you go every block, there's some legendary guy, and these guys battle each other. And I'm talking about these guys that might not have never got famous, but that's just something that was just here. Like, you know what I mean? So
Hell
just
yeah.
having that type of skill level just around, that's what I'm saying. Like that's, you know what I mean? It keep you on a certain type of, like I have to perform at this level if I'm gonna do this type of craft. So as a kid, it was definitely feeling like that. You know what I mean? And then as I got older, you know, seeing the changes, and then definitely as I was working in the industry, like especially now, thinking about when I saw when A Boogie came out, you know, and how that affected the sound of New York, and a lot of the kids, you know, they went behind that. And even like now with this New York drill sound, you know, and how that's affecting the sound of New York and changing the lexicon of what's going on. But I definitely feel like New York is inherently, like we can't help it. Even when niggas try to make like dumbed down or simpler music, we can't help but like have some type of lyrical prowess in the shit, or some type of substance in the shit. Like they just can't even help it. Like even with the little New York drill niggas, they like, I like that shit a lot that they doing, even though a lot of it is based in negativity and a lot of it is repetitive in a certain way. But they are expanding as far as with their creativity. They're using a lot of flows, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are more lyric driven than like beat driven, because a lot of them is using the same type of beat, so it's not really, you know what I mean? So
right.
But I feel like Philly has that too, you know what I'm saying? Like we just inherently got like rap shit to us, you know what I'm saying? Like even if it's a more like swaggier rapper, like somebody that's not necessarily like lyrical, you still have, you know what I mean?
Nah, that's facts.
That's probably the thing that I've seen change the most, but also it kind of never really went away.
Do you see yourself doing, you know, more drill style music? A lot of people don't even know what type of music you make. So I would consider you more of a lyrical old school rapper mixed with new school, if that makes sense. You got an old soul, man. If you can't tell by the words he uses and the way he talks, it's like an old soul.
You could tell from his answer.
Yeah. So that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? So I give you got that kind of hip hop in you. Do you see yourself transitioning?
Nah, I definitely. I actually got some shit. It's come out in December. 400 Hustle Abs collab project with my boy Traveling. So we definitely fucking around with some of that drill shit. Like I said, I love that shit. And with the thing that I love the most about what the young niggas is doing in that new sound is that it is very much New York. You know what I'm saying? Like the way they're talking, you know what I mean? The slang that they using, the dancing, the shit that they saying, the way the videos look is very New York. You know what I mean? And it feels like New York. And if you go outside, you see the reflection of that. And I think the beats is fire and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like it'd be different if I didn't fuck with the beat, then I probably would feel differently about it. But yeah, I definitely got some joints. You know, we dropped Big 400 joint over the summer. I'm featured on that with my man Stack Bullen. You know, that's one of my little bros.
Song is fire.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely in that lane as far as sound wise. You know, like my flow and how I'm rapping. You still gonna get me. You know, as far as with my music, the common thread with me is that it's always me, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it's never really. I don't really jump outside of things that pertain to me. So as far as my subject matter and, you know, my style of rapping and stuff, I'm definitely not gonna be the same flow, because my biggest thing is being kind of ambidextrous as far as with my flow. Like I might go left, I might go right, I might go fast, slow. Like I just want to, you know what I mean? Like that's part of what keeps this shit fun for me. Like I probably wouldn't even want to do this shit no more if I couldn't keep coming up with new shit. So
changing it up and shit.
Yeah. So when I get shit like that, like with the drill shit, that's like a whole nother soundscape. And it's like, yeah, I could do my ZooBeeze shit on there too. Like, that's it. So that's how I look at it. Like if it's the sound and I like the sound, I can do it.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, definitely got some more shit with that type of you know, that type of pop.
And I like the 30 for 30 concept too that you have, man. Like, is concept album something that you do a lot with your projects? Like, how did you come about that? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, definitely. That's always been a big thing for me. I always been a big fan of that myself. Like, just people's albums that just like, cause if you're an artist that I fuck with, first thing that I do when your project come out is I'm gonna listen to it from the first song to the last song. Like, I like to listen to it like a movie, you know. So I don't really like go on shuffle or skip songs. Like, I let it play, even if like it's playing and I ain't really feeling this song. Like, all right, track 7 is alright. I'm gonna let it play just cause I want to hear how you made 7 go into 8.
Right.
You might have this. So like, I always listen to, at least the first time, I'm gonna listen to your whole shit. You know.
Hell yeah.
And I like to have that in mind with my music too. Like, for other people that's like me or into that type of shit. Like, if you are gonna listen to it full straight through, it's something for you to enjoy there. It's not just songs I put together. Like, it's a way to cohesiveness that goes with it. So that's definitely important to me. Like, my biggest thing, I think with my music, you know, is I'm not really tripping about, you know, being like superstar or having like #1 records. Like, don't get me wrong, nobody's turning that shit down. But I'm saying, like, my goal with this shit really is legacy more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like with the way that I'm going, you know, you put in your work, you get your money, you know, you handle your business, you pay your bills. That leaves the door open for you to be as creative as possible. So that's where I'm at with it now. Like, I just want to make creative shit and be as dope as possible and just leave like real, like a resume that like because that's the thing, music don't die. So it's like, even if I don't get the recognition or whatever was being done while it was happening, you know what I mean? As long as I leave that legacy, it is what it is, like my name in the book. So that's what, that's my biggest thing right now, you know? So yeah, the concept and having something cohesive and something that goes together, and you know, I like doing little Easter egg shit and shit. Like, I'm a fan of all that type of shit. Like, I'm big into comic books, like wrestling, like I love all that shit. So I like to incorporate all that type of shit that I like. I was a kid that watched way too much TV and movies and shit like that.
Word. Yeah, that's lit, man.
Shit, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
It's another thing. Like, you were kind of reserved kind of guy as well. How did you get over the way you are with doing shows and performing? Tell us about some of your biggest performances you've done so far.
Well, that's getting over it. What came from, like I was saying earlier, like, it's just New York being a kid. If you good at rapping and people find out that you good at rapping, they
gonna put you on blast.
Yeah, they like, even if you don't even gotta be in the argument. The nigga said, what? Who you said was nice? Hold on.
Right.
You was minding your business.
Facts,
but
bro.
now you got it.
You bad.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, as far as like, cause yeah, I'm more like laid back. I'm chilling like on a regular, you know, but like, I like to joke. I like to have fun. I'm definitely not like a shy person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not scared to speak up or nothing like that. So in those moments where I get put on the spot, and then also my pops, my uncles, like, them niggas drilled it on me. Like, if you gonna rap, shorty, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was never like, they never gave it to me like I could play with it. Like, it was like treated like a serious thing. Like I said, hip hop was very respected in my household. So when I started rapping, you know, like, it was like, all right, you gonna do this shit, you gotta do it. Like, basically, like, you ain't gonna be embarrassing us. They call yourself a rapper, so, you know, so luckily I was good at the shit, so. But yeah, that's where like the overcoming the, like, you know, rapping in front of crowds or shit like that, like, that's where that comes from. Like, so that shit like second nature now. I ain't tripping with that.
What's your hold on. Yo, put that cat in the yo.
This nigga gonna start wilding. Hold on. Now you chilling right now though.
Tripping, I fuck with cats though, man.
This is my girl cat. This nigga just be he just trying to be in the video so hard, son. Like, Zoo was talking out, seeing this nigga just over here, just chilling.
Let Mystical with this have his camera time, B. Why are you trying to cut him off, bro?
That shit was bad. Funny, he's calling on top of the chair. I'm looking like, yo.
Right, I'm like, yo, come on, B.
He's a part of the show.
Facts, bro. But yo, since we was talking about crowds, man, like let the people who's watching us know about like what's it like your live performances and shit, man. Like what type of creativity you bring to that?
So the live shows, I go live, man. We just be bugging out, man. That shit is straight energy, man. Like, you know, like I said, again, we come from that, you know, the New York hip hop. So it's like, you gotta be an MC, man. I just master ceremonies, move the crowd, microphone controller, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I just got to. Like, so first thing, I'm going in there, I'm introducing myself, and you know what I'm saying? And I need the people to introduce themselves to me. What's up? Y'all good? What's like, I need the energy back. You know what I mean? And then we go from there. Like it's just,
hell yeah.
Whether it's in a crowd with 10 people or a crowd 1,000 people, 200 people, I treat it the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like I go hard. Like that's a, you know, I done did big shows, you know, headlining shit. I done did shit with live band. You know what I'm saying? We done went on a few tours. Did a few. We did the East Coast tour. I done did like a bunch of the festivals, South by Southwest, A3C, North by Northeast. That's they shit up in Toronto and shit. I did that shit. Yeah, just as far as with the show though, but everywhere I went, it's always, I just try to bring the energy. Like I want people to feel the passion, cause like I really care about this shit. You know what I'm saying? I really do this shit cause I love it. Like, you know, it's a career. It's, you know, like I said, you want to feed your family, you want to pay your bills and shit, but like, it's about the legacy, you know, and that's part of it too. Like somebody like, I seen this nigga live, he was going crazy. Like I never even heard his song, but I fuck with him just cause I seen it. I have people that, you know, people that follow me or they support my music to this day from that. They're like, I saw this nigga at a show in Newark in some little ass club where he was going so crazy. You know what I'm saying? They fuck with me to this day, you know what I mean? So
hell yeah.
That's my biggest thing, is really just putting it all, just like when a nigga, like, you know what I'm saying, when Kobe played ball or like any professional sport or boxer, niggas go all 12 rounds, it's like, I feel the same way. Like I gotta go, I gotta put it all up there.
But let me ask you something.
I done passed out after shows. I done threw up.
Oh shit!
Like, yeah.
And that's how you know a nigga going in for real.
That's why
bro.
you know
I like this
giving
nigga.
it off.
Hell yeah, bro.
So let me ask you something. Do you recommend artists to like be able to record themselves? Because I'm assuming you had a lot more hands-on, you know, with your projects. Now that you engineering as well, so you able to mix and, you know, master your shit, whatever like that. So do you recommend artists to do the same thing and learn, you know, that craft?
I mean, that's what, if you into it though, like, cause that's don't get twisted. It's a like, cause like on the flip side of that, like making beats. Like I know how to make beats. You know, I do things in the production standpoint, but I don't really enjoy the process of sequencing beats and stuff, like laying down the drums and cutting the sample. And I don't really enjoy that part of the creative process, right? But I do enjoy writing music, the writing part. I do enjoy the recording part, which most people don't enjoy. You know what I'm saying? And I do enjoy the mixing part, which most people don't enjoy. You know what I mean? So it's really like, it's finding the part of your creativity that it taps into. And then like, yeah, if you feel like, yo, I can do this shit, then I definitely feel like, it's only something that can help you, you know, but you don't want to be jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing, you know what I mean? So that's another reason why I never really went too crazy with the making beats or stuff like that, because it was like the engineering, then the rap, because I was already rapping at a high level. Like I told you, I took it serious from Jump Street, so I applied that same type of seriousness to the engineering. You know what I mean? The same way how, like, when I was a kid, my pops and my uncles was like, you gonna rap, can't play with this shit. I didn't have nobody tell me that with the engineering, but that was already ingrained in me. Like, all right, this is some new shit I'm doing. I gotta go just as hard, you know what I mean? And that's where, and I feel like that's where the fruits of my labor came from, was just being willing to work. Like, not really knowing what the end result was gonna be, or knowing where it's gonna take me, or even doing it because I think it's gonna take me somewhere. It was just being willing to work. And even to this day, that shit, you know, people fuck with me, or people, gain respect or build a rapport with me because of my willingness to put in the work. You know what I mean? So yeah, it gotta be that first. I feel like if you willing to put in the work, then definitely get into it, man. Learn your craft, as many ways as you can, you know what I'm saying? Try to get as many avenues in the door as you can, you know, and then just stay consistent with what you're doing. That's probably the biggest thing, and something that I learned late that I wish I would have worked on earlier, because I probably would have been further, is being consistent. Whatever you decide to do that shit. Even if it ain't as lit as you thought it was going to be when you do it. You only did it 2-3 times, and do it 6, 7, 8 times, and then shit, like, you know what I mean? But most people don't do they don't be that consistent with it. You know, myself included. That's something I had to learn late.
Is there any opportunities you missed out being a little inconsistent that you can remember off the top of your head, that you kind of look back? You know how we all got that one moment that pushed us to the left or the right?
Hell yeah. All the time. Hell yeah. Man, it's like, I done been around so much shit. It's people that I know that's on, and I was around. It's so many people, like it's so many people that know me. And not saying I got on with them. I'm saying, like, I remember when, like, you was at the same spot I'm at, and now you over here with it. So clearly I could have been doing something to be on that same trajectory. So that's what I mean. It's just recognizing, all this stuff is in hindsight, but it's recognizing that maybe I wasn't going as hard as I thought I was, or could have been. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, it's part of the learning and shit. But yeah, that's I don't really be tripping off that kind of shit though, Trey. It's more like, you know, it's part of the journey. Nobody's story is the same. Like, and I feel like, again, with the legacy shit at the end, like, you know, niggas gonna respect the story regardless. Like, that's just gonna be part of it. You know? So yeah, definitely stuff that you missed out on, stuff that you could have, you know.
Yeah, and then you got consistency. So with having that consistency, what kind of like sessions did it put you into, like, that you remember, like, with somebody like that you looked up to, or that you were just, you know, happy to work with? Like, oh shit, like, I'm really working with this person right now.
All right, one of those moments was when a good friend of mine, said Cassius, he's also an artist. But we became good friends through working together and stuff. You know, he owned the studio, and I was working there as an engineer, and I was a head engineer at the studio. So I was running the studio for about 2.5 years, and we had all kind of people coming in and out of there. But through that, me and him built a rapport. We got close, you know what I mean? So that's my dog to this day, man. Shout out to Big Dog, man. You know the vibe. But he actually got a song coming soon. He got a joint with Jada, and I worked on that record. And, you know, just being a young New York nigga, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, that was a big deal just for me as myself.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Facts. I bet.
Like so yeah, just being in that shit, in that session, you know, working on that track, you know, being in the studio with that vibe and stuff, just being around. And then even that, before I got to work with Jada, meeting Jada's engineer, a guy named Pools. You know what I'm saying? I met him down at Engine Room Studios. My man Buddha and Grants, producers and stuff, they do a lot of stuff for East and Jada. And I mean, if you're from New York and you moving, you probably got to be from Buddha and Grants. Pools was over there with them, but that was a big deal to me too, just to be around. Because like I said, it's on both sides. Like as an MC and as an engineer, I took both as serious, and I really like dove into the craft. You know what I mean? So even when I met Pools, who's D-Block engineer, that was a big deal to me. You know. So definitely, this was like maybe a year or two later, I got to work on the joint with Jada. So that was dope too. And then but yeah, like I ain't gonna lie, bro. All that shit is a blessing. I don't take none of that shit for granted. Got to work with Mary J. Blige. That was ill. That was one of my favorite singers. You know, so that was a big deal. Dionne Ward. You know what I mean? That was a big deal for my grandmother, and I'm just a
right.
You know, that's but yeah, just like just being in it, and just like I said, like I never minded the work. So just being in it and being in the studio and being like, man, this is real life. This is, you know what I mean? That's just that right there is probably the biggest shit for me. Like any of those moments where I sat there like, nah, this shit for real. Like, you know, like I don't take that for granted ever. You know, I appreciate every moment of this shit.
I know that
music for a living.
I know that shit gotta feel crazy, because like I can only imagine You know what? Music is different because artists stick around for so long. So even as a kid, you watch them, but now as an adult, you get to work for them, and you can really sit back and be like, "Yo, I always imagined this, and that was starting to happen." So that's what's up, though, man. I'm happy for you. That's definitely a blessing.
Yeah.
Why you look tired?
Trey was there.
Word. So I know, like every time that an artist is working on a new project, there's certain things that they got to keep on the low, certain things that that they can share. So tell us about like some of the things that's on the horizon, the things that's going to add to the legacy that you built.
Oh shit! I forgot for the previous question too. Definitely just working with Remy, being around Remy and Fat Joe, just being like a young Bronx nigga, and looking up to them and being around them, and then the fact that they really good people. You know what I'm saying? And that like Trey was saying, when you grow up with somebody's like you look up to them and shit, but then when you meet them and they really like, you know what I'm saying, like the type of person like you thought they was, like, oh nah, they really official. That's right. You know what I mean? It just like amplifies it times 10.
It better,
you know what I mean? So
hell yeah. So especially when they cool with it too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so I've done a lot of work with them. I mean, looking forward to like Rem shit coming out and shit. So that's they definitely on that list of like favorites and like top. You know what I mean? Like this is dope. This is a dope moment. But right now I got a lot of shit coming, a lot of this music, a lot of my shit, a lot of projects. Like I said, I got some shit dropping in December. I got a video coming out November 7th, Clever Man, coming out, it's like short film, music video type of vibe.
Okay, that's lit.
Little storyline to it, get my acting on my Denzel Washington.
Okay.
So,
is that what you was working out on? I seen a couple little workout highlights, and I was like, oh man, this nigga Zoo up to something.
Getting in the gym, son.
I've been doing push up or two, man. Trying to get it together, man.
I feel it, man. Okay, that's dope.
I was like, okay, Clever Man. I was like, Zoo always got some theme going on, man. So, as far as that, who's also helping you shoot? I got a funny story coming after this too, Zoo, so I'll be prepared. But who's helping you record, and how do you get your guidance, or how do you come up with the idea? So you had Clever Man, you had the 30 for 30. Where do you come up with this? You just in the crib chilling, like, yo, that'd be fried.
That's me, nigga, be fried, bro. Like,
the ideas.
Watch mad TV.
I am motivated.
Man, exactly, man. Watch mad TV, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I don't really be tripping off that shit. That shit just pop up when it pop up. Like right now, I got a project I'm supposed to put out in December. I don't got a name for it yet. I don't got a title for the project, but the songs is done, and I know that I'm gonna put out in December. The title will come when it comes, but that's how a lot of that shit be. And then once I got something that I like I said, I like the Easter egg shit, and I'm big into like comic books and like Star Wars, and just like I love shit that got long ass sagas and storylines, because I'm gonna find out the whole shit. Like I love all that type of shit. So I like doing that shit with my music. Like if you into that shit, you could string back, and this mad shit that connect my shit to the other shit. So
that's fire. That's fire. Because we huge on the comic book shit too, man. So that's dope as hell that you got that.
Yeah.
Can you give us any of the references that you use for the comics and shit? So I know some of our viewers like that shit too.
Shit, that's where not necessarily. I don't necessarily reference a comic. It's more so that style of storytelling, and that the way that a comic, like you might be into certain X-Men, right?
Right.
And then he might be into a certain X-Men, you know what I'm saying? But it might not be the same storyline, you know what I'm saying? Or even the same, but it's both X-Men, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
I kind of look at my music in that way. Like if I'm gonna if I make a certain project over here, it's like for the 30 for 30 shit, for example, right? That has a certain sound and theme and concept to it. And then with the Clever Man, that's with that's with a group that I have called Black Market. It's actually with me and my mentor that I was telling you about, my brother Malik Spence. He introduced me to my mentor. It was me and LB 9000. He making all the beats. I'm doing all the raps. But when we come together, it's Black Market. So that the Clever Man record that's dropping November 7th is a Black Market record. Our first official release was about a month or two ago. I think it was in August. We dropped a record called Jimmy Dore. We just put out the lyric video. So even with that, that's the first time that we showed the comic book character. So there's actually an animation that's gonna go along with Black Market. So
that's fire.
The lyric video is the first time that we show like my character in the Black Market animation. He's in the lyric video. So we haven't even revealed my partner's character yet. But just like stuff like that, I think all that kind of shit is dope. And like, so I like to apply that kind of stuff in my music as well. You know what I mean?
I like it. These guys are good. These guys are good, man.
This guy's good.
Good.
That's fine.
Hell yeah. And it's dope too, cause like mentioning the references and shit, that reminds me a little bit of like how Wu-Tang used to do the Shaolin shit. Like how, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, man, that's what I'm saying. They a big influence. The Wu, all that funk shit, like, you know what I'm saying? How Redman used to do. You remember he had a little red, big cartoon shoot, the red toy. You know,
shit was hard.
Just Parliament Funkadelic, how they used to do their shit, you know what I'm saying? Like how Snoop Dogg and just the whole G-Funk shit, how they used to draw their cartoons up and shit, like all that.
Hell yeah.
Like I was super influenced by all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like all of that. Even like the Hot Boys, Cash Money and No Limit, like when they used to do them Photoshop covers and shit, like all that.
Yeah.
All that type of shit. Like in the old Sandy wrestling t-shirt, just all that. Look, I'm giving out all my vibe and shit, but that's
Oh yeah, that's fire though.
That's so I like to incorporate that. Like I'm a real, like I said, we was the last kids outside and the first kids on the internet, and that was my childhood. And I like, you know what I'm saying? I like to incorporate that shit in my music. I'm still like a big ass kid.
That's fire. That's dope too. It's dope that you actually put thought into your projects. It's not just music coming out. You actually have a plan and a story behind it to back it. So with this Clever Man, who's gonna help you shoot the film? Are you using Dave Doobie? Shout out to Dave Doobie. Are you using him to film that?
So yeah, the Clever Man, like I said, it's like a short film. It was actually written by Dave and my uncle Jazzy, shouts to Zay. And it was directed by Dave. So yeah, that's what he shot the video. You know, we in there getting a little acting on. It come out on November 7th. So yeah, the video's all done already. Drop on the 7th, I think it was today. So I guess that's like a week from now. So yeah.
Word.
It come out on the 7th. That's the first video release from Black Market, you know what I mean? Like I said, we dropped the lyric video in August for a joint called Jimmy Dore, you know.
Oh, like I said, I had a little funny story. To me, it's funny. It might not be funny to everybody else, but my man Zoo gave me some information today on his first World Star video, right?
Oh yeah.
And his outfit was a little different in the first video, and I was just wondering because that's not how my man Zoo get down. It's not. It wasn't his style, and I was like, yo, from years, I always wondered, like, yo, what made you wear the shiny pants, man? I was just wondering.
Yeah, did he help him do that shit?
I was like, yo, right? Shiny pants.
It was for years. It was on World Star. It was cool. I was like, yo, my man on World Star. You know, this is like, we young. So I'm like, oh, this is fire. But in the back of my mind, I couldn't play him on it because he was on World Star. I'm like, yo, fuck it. He on World Star with the shiny pants. He's lit. It doesn't matter. But he told me today how he got the shiny pants. So I need you to let the people know, how did this come about?
Well, first of all, them pants was dope, nigga. They was leather. And you go only wear leather pants, that means success. Right? Leather pants. But yeah, my son, shout out to Ferg. That's ASAP Ferg. At the time, he was just D Ferg. You know what I'm saying? But that's my boy. That's, you know what I mean? Along with my boy Malik. Once again, you know what I'm saying? We known Ferg since, you know, high school, teenage years and stuff. Back with my son, he used to make clothes. He used to make chains and stuff. He used to throw big art events and shit. Like, he been doing a lot of dope shit and stuff. But we used to come around, be around him and shit. And that was actually his idea. He directed that video for me. So that whole video, and that was actually my first music video. So yeah, my first music video, it was directed and I was styled by AP Ferg.
Fire.
That's lit, son.
What? If you ever meet AP Ferg, ask him about. I know how AP Ferg dressed.
What
So
you got about to say? He went leather pants.
So when he said it, I was like, it makes sense. Who else would have styled you in leather pants? Mind you, this is back in the day. This is before. AP Ferg.
This is like 2008.
Yeah, you know,
like,
fashion.
10 or probably 10, 2010.
So he was ahead of the fashion curve. This is what people are doing now,
shit.
low key.
Yeah, Ferg always been out there though, like with it.
Hell yeah.
People dress like ASAP now.
That's a
Hell
fact.
yeah, man, niggas be on that now, bro.
Prince said, man.
Hey, man.
Prince was fire.
Man.
Yeah, man. So you got the next projects coming out. You know, I think you and my boy Ralph should make a song. You know what I'm saying? Just putting it out there for the universe.
That's facts. We gotta do
Hell
that.
yeah, shit. I want to send him a verse too,
Me and
man.
Ralph did some shit before. Remember when I came down there and shit? So that's a go, man. We cook up some more.
Yeah, where the copy at? I need a copy of that.
I gotta go look. That shit is it. Nah, that shit is definitely on the hard drive, bro. I definitely still got them sessions and shit. That shit is.
Word.
That shit was fire though. See, there's a story behind that
everything.
too. We was in the studio chilling. Ralph come through. Zoo just like, yo, you want to make a song, Ralph? And I was shocked. Ralph was like, yeah, all right. Ralph wrote his little track, quick.
Man.
Yeah, that was fire.
The stew, man. If you make music, you creative, bro. We in here, man. Let's do it. Let's cook up, man. Cause you don't know what we gonna come up with. We might make some shit, some life changing shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hell yeah.
I'll never turn down the cook up, man.
That's
Hell
facts.
yeah.
We definitely got to do something, man. Definitely got to do something.
Facts.
I'm with it, man. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna hit you up on that shit too, man, because I'm definitely a fan, man. Trey let me hear a couple of your joints, and just doing this interview and shit, you got another fan, even more fans from people that watch this, man, because that shit is dope, man. I like that you blend the old and the new, all that shit, man. That's fucking fire.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. But yo, if y'all got any questions or anything that y'all want to hit us up with, make sure y'all put that in the comments below. You know what I mean? We're going to get back at y'all, man. We appreciate y'all for coming, vibing with us, checking out Zoo, and we'll be back with y'all with some more fire content. You dig?
Boy, that's some food.
Yo, that shit was lit.